Hey there, folks. Welcome back to Random Uncut and Raw. Today we're going to dive into the latest developments in the Diddy trial. So, buckle up and let's get started. As you know, the trial of Diddy, also known as Sean Combs, is currently underway, and we've got some new updates for you. The defense team has called in new witnesses, and we've got a clip from the Law&Crime network that details a Jane's version of the Diddy party horror. According to Jane, she was at the party when the altercation took place. She claims that Diddy was the one who approached her and her friends, and it was he who started the physical altercation. Jane alleges that Diddy pushed her, and when she tried to push him back, he responded by slapping her. Jane's version of the story is quite different from what Diddy's team has been arguing in court. They claim that Diddy was the one who was attacked, and that he was the victim of a violent assault. It's important to note that all of this information is based on Jane's account of the events. The trial is still ongoing, and we'll have to wait for the jury's verdict to determine who is telling the truth. In the meantime, let's take a moment to reflect on the importance of listening to both sides of the story. It's crucial to keep an open mind and to let the evidence speak for itself.
Condoms, but many times the defendant did not let them. And Jane will tell you how he had her take drugs to stay awake and aroused for days. Jane tried twice to make it through these nights without drugs. The first time she broke down and had took ecstasy to finish performing for the defendant. The second time, Jane vomited after having sex with one escort. How did the defendant respond? He told her to hurry up and get back into the room where another escort was waiting. Early on, Jane told the defendant that she didn't like freak-offs and she just wanted to be alone with him. She loved him desperately and wanted a real relationship with him. The defendant did not listen. Feeling stuck and sick of the strangers the defendant kept bringing to these hotel rooms, Jane tried to assert herself in small ways. She found two men who performed in pornography, and she invited them to join the freak-offs. That way, Jane could at least choose the other man she was forced to be intimate with. Like he did with Cassie, the defendant eventually took steps to control Jane financially. The defendant wanted Jane available with him at a moment's notice, and he discouraged her from working. Jane's income plummeted. The defendant gave Jane money and later started paying rent for the house that she lives with her child. That way, when Jane resisted the freak-offs and told him over and over that she wanted to stop, he had the power to coerce her back into hotel rooms. And just as he had with Cassie, the defendant threatened Jane with the videos he recorded of her engaging in sex acts with the escorts. But the lies and the drugs and the threats were not the end of it. Not even a year ago today, Jane had the worst day of her life. The defendant came to Jane's house for an at-home date night. She and the defendant argued about another woman that the defendant had been seeing. Jane was upset and jealous. She had now spent years in hotel rooms for forced sex while the defendant took his other girlfriends for dates and trips. Jane hit the defendant and threw things at him. The defendant became enraged, so Jane tried to get away from him and hide. She ran to her bedroom and locked the door. He kicked it open. She ran to her bathroom and locked the door. He kicked it open. She ran to her closet and locked the door. He kicked it open. She ran to the guest bedroom and locked the door. He kicked it open. She tried to run out the front door, but he grabbed her in a chokehold, lifted her off the ground by her neck, and kicked her to the ground. Later that night, they fought again. And just as he had with Cassie, the defendant viciously attacked Jane. He punched her in the face, kicked her while she was curled up in a ball on the ground, dragged her by her hair and her arm, and slapped Jane's face so hard she fell over. When all of this was over, the defendant still did not let Jane.
That's it for today's update on the Diddy trial. We hope you found this information interesting and informative. If you did, please don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel Random Uncut and Raw for more updates on this case and other legal matters. Until next time, stay curious and stay informed.